What companies, people are on your shit list? Televangelists and prosperity gospel preachers. God loves me. That's why I'm so rich. Send me all your money. And God will love you more. All you have is $1? I'll take that too. Quote, one of those sheathils is asking people to donate their entire stimulus check to him and his friends. If there's AHL, they're going to it. Guy at work and I were howling when we heard about Kenneth Copeland blowing, literally, the wind of God at COVID-19. I saw a clip of something similar. A televangelist, may have been Copeland, literally asked viewers to put their hands on the TV screen, and then he did this weird babbling thing and said they were cured. At least he's not like the ones selling snake oil or just literally asking for your money. A Mexican restaurant in my town that charges for salsa. Or the places who charge you for extra cheese after you've asked to hold the guacamole. Those two should easily cancel each other out. Guac costs more than cheese. They should give you extra cheese and money back. I have always thought this. When you ask for no tomatoes, for example, on your sandwich, do they deduct that from your bill? No. It's the same charge even though they're saving on my tomatoes. But when you want no tomatoes, but extra pickles, they're going to charge you for those pickles. Not right, man. Any company that is not supporting the shutdown orders. We have a bar here threatening to open, and I will remember to never go there once this ends. Disney. Evil. Evil conglomerate that steals people's work and sues people into silence. One of the weirdest parts of life is loving the Disney films and hating the Disney company. It helps knowing that the creators and the business teams are two separate entities. Like I will always support the artists, writers and animators for Disney, but the company itself can go FK itself. Honestly, this is why I pirate most of their ST. I love the movies. I love the theme parks. But IFG hate their copyright lawyers. Charmin. I hate those bear commercials. The ultimate mindfuck is the fact that those bears are naked intentionally despite wearing clothes. On that stupid My Hinnie's Clean one, the kid is picking up a pair of underwear. Which would mean they wear underwear in this universe. So why the FK are they all standing around naked? Because a toilet paper executive has the money to indulge his fetish? Who takes advice on their AS from a bear? Starbucks. Did not read all the comments, but as of today, all 75 major corporations that got the SBA PPP loans that obviously did not need them. Intuit. Makers of TurboTax. Almost single-handedly responsible for lobbying and preventing the government from having their own simple and free tax filing option online. Edit. A couple people have mentioned the podcast, Reply All. Episode number 144. Dark Pattern. That covers this in depth. Lots of research links in the show notes there as well. For anyone in Canada, I'm going to take this opportunity to give a shout out to Simple Tax. They survive off donations, and it's literally the easiest thing you can imagine. Make a CRA account. Go to the Simple Tax website. Select Auto Fill My Return. And Simple Tax will automatically, after you confirm it's okay with the CRA, about a 10-second process, fill in your income, tax deductions, filings, everything the CRA has on record. Obviously it's on you to double-check you have everything. And things like childcare receipts, some investments incomes the CRA won't have electronic copies of. But still, amazingly simple. I've used it for the last 5 to 6 years, and filing for both my wife and I, with children, takes about half an hour. Studio Tax does the same. Yeah, Studio Tax is the ST. I've been using it for 10 years. PETA. With them euthanizing up to 90% of their rescues. Their disgusting ads. Their obscene fan games, the fact that they killed someone's dog and gave the dog owner a fruit basket, and the list goes on. Nike. I wouldn't say I'm the greatest die-hard fan of sports. But I do try to keep up on what's going on in other sports. Plus the one I play. Football, soccer. And I know for a fact I will not buy anything Nike. They're a filthy company with sweatshops that overwork their employees for only a few cents a day. Most of, if not all, live in concrete slabs of houses with barely any clothes, food, or hygiene. And for what? Overpriced shoes? I feel like at this point Nike is just like Apple. Not entirely caring about the products they're making. Because they know people will lose their mind over anything they release just because of the brand name. It's immoral and wrong. And they refuse to change. Any company who is taking government stimulus money while at the same time either dodging corporate taxes using overseas locations or ignoring the fact that the last time they were bailed out, they used the money to buy back shares. My friend's company purposely laid people off and furloughed people so the company would qualify for a SBA they are giving out due to COVID-19. Edit. A word. IDK about them. But as a low-income employee the layoff is safer and pays better than staying on. Some countries in the world right now are absolutely withholding any stimulus money from the companies that choose to keep their funds in tax havens. Boeing. They use their prominent position in the aircraft market to gouge everyone to an insane degree. Used to work for one of Boeing's subcontractors. That's how I know. Boeing also added a software to their 737 planes and didn't tell pilots about it, which led to a couple fatal crashes. Hate them. This blew my mind. How can you not tell the pilots? Now people are dead. What were they supposed to do? Let Airbus sell a functional and safe airplane instead of their death trap? BMW. No car should throw AFG piston right at 30k miles. Overpriced ST. Everyone I know that has one practically lives in the shop. Edit. Used after when I meant it. My company. In cellular sales. Our DM just had a phone call with my manager and one of his questions was, paraphrasing, so your store's numbers are a bit behind this and last month. Any idea what's going on there? Quote, are you living under AFG rock? It's not just you. Bay Area worker with our main headquarters in Florida in the essential business of fire extinguisher maintenance. Boss today. So I know you're cut down to 32 hours and normally we work 40 and expect you guys to do about $3,000 a week. Well, with 32 hours we expect about $2,500 a week and you and John didn't even do half that. Me. Well, as you know, most places are closed. And most of our jobs are small bullshit like $100 minus 200 jobs, so yeah. I can't make work appear out of my FGAE. Like for real, everyone knows WTF is going on right now, so take your numbers, sales and shove them up your ass. People still working are literally risking their health to still bring in money to ungrateful ass companies. Like go FK yourselves corporate. How about some hazard pay instead of cutting hours, ya FGFS? Boy, I do wonder if it has anything to do with this virus. Dollar car rental. The worst customer service experience of my life. If it came between walking and giving them a dime, I walked 10 times out of 10. Nestlé. I once saw a comment they made saying that water wasn't public property. FK them. That's not even counting all of the mothers in third world countries that they provided just enough baby formula for their BS to dry up. Then expected these already poor families to spend the exorbitant prices of the formula to be able to feed their babies. The mothers also try to make the formula last longer by diluting it more, resulting in malnourished babies. The water they have access to, it's also unclean. Chris Brown. I'm not the only one whose ST list he's on. He's also banned from entering Australia, New Zealand and the UK. Yeah, we have enough problems with dickheads beating their partners. Don't need to add to it. I can't wait to twerk on his grave. Big ass energy right here. Kissanime and Kismanga can kiss my hairy ass. Carnival. Their repeated breaking of environmental regulation, cowardice and ineptitude in command, and their technically legal violations of labor laws. I know for a fact I will never book a vacation with them for my entire life. But it probably doesn't even make a difference, as I will unlikely go on a cruise for the rest of my life anyways. Electronic arts. Gamers would understand. I wholeheartedly agree, but it seems that they are slowly making their way off my ST list if they keep up with games like Jedi Fallen Order. No pay to win. And they even offered it on Steam on PC. It's a start. But if they keep moving in that direction, I'll gladly buy their games again. To be fair, Respawn have decided to just make games on their own, with EA only being slightly involved. Sears. Their former Quality Craftsman tools and vacuum cleaners are a thing of the past. Plus, good luck finding a staff member for service, it's a ghost town. Wait, there's still Sears locations that are open? Facebook. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean they don't do ST with their data. It might not be an issue now, but who knows what happens in 10+ years when everything is digitalized. There are a few companies which I will never use again. The top 2 worst. Green Motion Car Hire, scam artists who caused a scratch and then charged me for it. Eurostar, would not change a ticket to a later time. When I had a family crisis. Would not give a refund or a rebate on a later train. However, they did have seats and were very willing to sell me one at the more expensive rate. They told me I could either use the tickets at the correct time or rip them up. I ended up doing the return home via Eurowings airline and even a last-minute flight. And extra traveling to and from airports. It was still cheaper than a fee-ing Eurostar train ticket. Comcast, Xfinity. F that noise. Ironically, I've never had a bad experience the few times they were the only option for internet. But they will never not be hated by me. FK Xfinity. They only allow you to have internet if you pay for their plan that includes cable TV. I don't watch cable and never have. We still had to pay for the boxes though. They decided one day that the boxes they gave were out of date and needed to be changed. An employee came to change the boxes and took them with him. We get a bill a couple months later for $1,700. We called and they told us they have missing equipment and refused to turn our internet back on until we pay it. Totally. A simple cable box that cost us $100 in total. That they were going to throw away anyways. Cost $1,700. They only allow you to have internet if you pay for their plan that includes cable TV. I'm not sure if this applies everywhere, but where I live this isn't true. I have gigabit internet through Comcast, Xfinity, and it doesn't require cable. They have offered it to me several times though. Putin. Ticketmaster. They're so FG shitty. Tons of ghost convenience fees. And now apparently they've changed their policy to not offer refunds for postponed events. I wonder what's happening in the world right now that would cause them to do that. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Same. I bought tickets to RATM on the 13th of February. I was stoked and happy to pay the very dear price and all the upcharges. I was going to see RATM. But when the crazy started up, I realized there was no way they were going to allow a concert. And I didn't fancy going to one. So I contacted my credit card company and said I was freaking out. Had spent big money on these tickets. I was going to need that money to survive. And so on. I really threw myself on their mercy. And the woman told me this. She said a memo had already come down that any customers having this issue were to be dealt with swiftly and to their benefit. The memo said this was no time to mess around with people for purchases that they were very likely not going to be able to tender. And the memo closed with the advice to the reps that the bank was willing and able to take up the fight with Ticketmaster or venues. That their customers shouldn't have that burden. That it wasn't our fight. So they refunded the money immediately, number 30-day dispute and no ding to my credit. The moral of this story is it never hurts to ask for help. Nice. And now apparently they've changed their policy to not offer refunds for postponed events. And now they're on my shit list. 2. Thanks for the info. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.